Well, the layout is in a pretty good process of being set up. It's just that I have the docks over there, not complete, and all the way over here, the Arstel Railway is not even a full railway right now. It's just a couple of little bits. Although even what I'm about to show in this video would not be able to expand or help finish off this little railway. I present to you the Racing Figure 8 set from the Thomas & Friends wood line. Now, what you do end up getting in this set, and also, just like with all of the Thomas Wood sets, you do get two track adapters, one male and one female, so you can combine it with Thomas Wooden Railway or any other sort of wooden railway track. And you can also either have them be connected like this, or be connected like this if you own Thomas & Friends wood, but you don't have any other sort of track. You can just simply put the track adapters together just like that. But I don't do that very often on my layouts because there are plenty of Thomas wood track that I want to have connected, so I try to preserve the track adapters as much as possible. So what we do have are two vehicles and one figure, and we also get this sign right here that's called Thomas's Branch Line, and on the other side there is a clock, and presumably this is supposed to represent a station on Thomas's Branch Line. In fact, let me see if there's anything. There we go. This is Crosby, which I'm pretty sure is a station on Thomas's Branch Line. I mean, this has to be a set representing Thomas's Branch Line, since it does include Thomas, and it does include Birdie, and it's a Racing Figure 8 set, so presumably this is supposed to be a recreation of the story entitled Thomas and Birdie's Great Race. Now, what's included in here is a Thomas & Friends Wood Thomas. This is the third Thomas Wood model of Thomas that I have gotten, and it is the first to be a plain one. I mean, I've gotten two of the special Thomas & Friends Wood Thomases, one with the birthday car pack and one with the animal park pack. I'm not sure if I've done reviews on those. If I haven't, you can let me know, and I may see if I can do reviews on them pretty soon if I have the time. And she hasn't come onto the set yet, but you may see my cat pretty soon. She just came down here because she is wondering what I'm doing. Okay. Well, she hasn't come onto the camera set yet. But if she does, don't be surprised, because whenever I'm down here on my train set, she just comes down to see what I'm up to. Okay, so anyway, this right here is Thomas. There's not really anything special about him. It's just a plain old Thomas, no special decorations or anything on him, just plain Thomas. Now, the question here is, am I going to be using this in my series? The answer to that is no. I'm going to be using the 60th anniversary Thomas for that set, or for my series. And so this Thomas is pretty much just going to go onto the shelves. I'm not going to be modifying this into anything. I'm not going to be selling it or anything. It'll just be something that I have on the shelf as part of a collection, and you know, pretty nice representation for the Thomas Wood line now that it's gotten fully painted models. Next up, we are taking a look at Birdie right here. This is the Thomas & Friends Wood Birdie, the fully painted version. There have also been unpainted versions or only partially painted versions of Birdie, much like with a lot of the other characters. And of course, just like with all of the characters that are supposed to carry passengers in them, like coaches and buses and vehicles, road vehicles, there's a gap inside of Birdie. That is to put a figure inside of it, and in this case, we have the mayor of Sodor be put into Birdie right here, because this is supposed to represent him riding on Birdie, because Birdie is taking him somewhere important. As for the whole rest of the design for Birdie, well, with the original, the original as well as also the any version of Thomas Wooden Railway Birdie, and as you can see, there's this part right here, the little sticking out part right next to the driver's seat, but here they don't have that. I mean, they do have lines to indicate where it's supposed to go, but otherwise it's not there. And, you know, taking a look at them side by side, you can see that the Thomas Wood Birdie is a little taller than the Wooden Railway one. That was probably done to adjust to the new sort of track system, or maybe even the being able to put figures inside. That's my best guess of it. Although, for me personally, I think that I prefer this version of Birdie, because he's a little more accurate to how he's supposed to look, and plus, he doesn't have that big gap inside of him. And lastly, another reason that you should be getting this set, or one of the things that would be worth getting this set, is this figure of the mayor of Sodor. I don't think that it's possible to get this figure in any other sort of line in the Thomas Wood line. I mean, this might not be his only set release, but I'm also pretty sure that he's not a character that you could get individually, or at least a character that you could get in a single vehicle set. Like, for example, if you got Winston and you then get a Sir Topham Hatt figure. I don't think that's the case right here, but no, it's great to have a figure of the mayor of Sodor, because it really works out to have him in some stories. Like if you want to do a Wooden Railway remake to any episode where the mayor makes an appearance, this is a good figure to use that for. And I'm pretty happy to have him in my Thomas & Friends Wood collection. Overall, it's not the best, but it certainly is a fun little set that you can use to re-interact the scenes from Thomas and Birdie's Great Race, although you probably would want to expand upon it, like if you can get some more track for this. So, not really anything else to say, but, you know, that right there is the Thomas & Friends Wood Racer Figure 8 set. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. You're sitting on the instructions. It's okay. I probably won't need them anymore anyway.